Yeah, Nasus can't really answer because if he goes down there, Ornn TP's in, and POP is at a very strong point right now, but I don't think they want to take a 5v4, and so that would be either a team fight or a Baron, or possibly both. A lot of, again, the side of POP taking a lot of Baron damage as the Jarvan goes in. Baron getting multiple attacks off on him. Jarvan is backing, however, he's out of vision. And so SSG not going to be trying to position for that jungle creature.
POP is forced to reset at this point. I don't know what they can do. Honestly, I'd say Varus is in real danger right now.
Yeah, Nasus showing in the bot lane had to clear that wave because Ornn was pushing it into the tower. And so top side, very strong power play right now from SSG. Are they going to do anything with it, though? They don't have a mid or top turret to take. Really, the only thing on the table is Baron or a team fight right now.
It kind of seems like with them doing all that vision clearing there, it really seems like they're setting up for a Baron bait, except that they're not there.
Yeah, I mean, also, to be said for the side of SSG, they do have Tristana, who, if you can keep the Nasus, no matter how much the Nasus farms up, if you can keep the Nasus off the Tristana, she will deal more damage than the Ziggs or the Varus. And so she has a very clear win condition. And so stalling the game may be in SSG's favor, although the Nasus does farm up. And if you can't keep the Nasus off, which they've managed to do so far, but if the Nasus gets on that back line, that could be that could go catastrophically for SSG. Positioning a little bit more aggressively is Poros on patrol. They've got the vision now on the top side that they can actually feel a little bit more comfortable doing this this vision. Actually past the mid line of the river. Nasus is still on the bot side. His TP is going to be up very shortly. So starting that split push up again. Sejuani going to throw her ultimate. Ziggs is going to cleanse it off. A lot of damage onto the Jarvan, though. Tristana's range. Chains of Corruption catching onto the brand. Twisted Fate's going to go in, but he's going to get caught out. The Chains of Corruption having disengaged the rest of the fight. Ziggs is going to flash very aggressively. Brand has to flash. Jarvan goes in hard with that Cataclysm on 2. Ornn going to throw the ultimate. Not going to catch anybody, though. A lot of damage from the brand as Nasus is wreaking havoc on the backside. He's going to get Buster shotted underneath the turret. He's going to be trying to life off the minions. He's going to get stunned down by the Sejuani. But now he's just running for his life. But this is 2 members chasing him, and there are only 3 members alive for SSG. They're not even going to get the kill. And I think this is a free Baron. No, they're way lower than I thought they were.
Yeah, they have to go back and reset. All of this, this is the second time this game the backpack caught a little too aggressive in the west quadrant of the jungle. And I don't know what the game plan is, if he's hoping to use his ultimate to get out quickly, but so far it hasn't been working for him.
Nasus is going to take this bot side turret. That's going to be a little bit more gold for POP. And for the first time this game, I think POP actually has the gold lead.
Yes, they do. Although, so, once again, having had to reset there, they are rallying very cleanly here and moving on in a very coordinated way to their next objective.
Which is going to be this Cloud Drake spawning. Not the most ideal Drake, especially this late in the game, but still not something you necessarily want to give over. Especially if this game is looking like it's going to be going to Elder. Any buff is a welcome buff. So Elder going to be spawning. Does Elder spawn at exactly 35, or does he go on the full cooldown? I do not know.
He goes on the full cooldown.
Alright. Wasn't sure. High vision scores from the junglers. Zig's going to take a lot of damage, going to satchel charge out of there. Brand does a lot of damage, though. Having finished that Leandri's Torment, he has that burn damage. Tristana has built her QSS. For what CC there is, I guess. I guess it's the
I
Varus.
guess maybe you're scared of the Varus ult, or maybe you're fall asleep and step inside the Soraka pool for too long.
Yeah.
It seems a questionable choice.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Because there isn't even any. I mean, unless Tristana is worried about being. I mean, does QSS work on exhaust?
I have no idea. That's a good question. I play support. I should know that. I don't though.
It's a baffling build choice there.
Yeah, but she does have a lot of damage now. She also has that last whisper, gonna help her penetrate through that Jarvan and Nasus. She already does a lot of damage. Zig's gonna get another blue buff. Didn't he just get the blue buff from the red side of the jungle?
And it has just been pointed out to me that Tristana is, in fact, probably building the QSS for fear of Nasus's Wither.
That would make sense. I completely forgot that that's, and Backpack's just going to get caught out. Gonna pop his Zhonya's, but that's not going to be enough. He's just going to take too much damage. And now with a man lead, POP is going to position a little bit more aggressively. Nasus trying to go and flank onto this Tristana, going to wither her down. She is going to pop the QSS, and so she's no longer withered. A lot of damage on the Nasus. Soraka ultimate coming out, going to heal everybody up, and the half health bars on the entire side of SSG.
Yeah, this is the opportunity for POP to pick up this. If they don't do it now, I don't.
Half HP on all of SSG, except for Ornn. Ornn and Sedge have regen because of Warmogs. But almost no damage was taken from the side of POP other than on the Nasus, and so this should be a free Baron. Sejuani is...
And at last, after a roller coaster of failed takes from both teams, the first Baron of the game finally goes to POP, securing them an almost 3,000 gold lead over the side of SSG.
Yeah. Come this mid-game, we talked about how... supposing Nasus could farm, they would have a very good mid game.
And he has. He has farmed. He is sitting on almost 600 stacks at the 38-minute mark.
Yeah, and POP has won the last few team fights. Even though they haven't been able to take out the Tristana all but one time, Backpack keeps getting caught out, going too aggressively, or just getting caught out like last time, just without any of his summoners. And that's been the facilitator. So now with Baron buff, the split push becomes even stronger. A large wave in the bot lane with Nasus. He's going to start split pushing. Ornn back to answer this.
And POP keeps coming at bringing it back to this 1-4 split. With the other 4 members of the team besides Nasus constantly just coming together to push a lane really hard.
Spreading it out even more, setting up in the top side with the Nasus and the bot side, making so any chance to roam down using anything but a global is really hard to do, and Nasus just doesn't care. He's gonna keep farming. Gold card does catch onto Soraka, but she's not gonna take too much damage.
Oh my god, that is filthy. Look how fast that take is, right?
He's gonna ultimate, and now he's gonna go in on the Ornn. Or he's just going to take the inhibitor. He doesn't care about Ornn. Why would he care about Ornn? There's people roaming down from SSG. I know there's a fight happening on the top side. Tristana does get caught out, blown up by the Ziggs. And that's going to be the Sejuani going down. Nasus will probably go down? Question mark? Twisted Fate does flash out. He stuns up the Nasus. Nasus getting knocked up, but the team is here to help the Nasus. He's going to get shielded up. Flash from the Ornn. Twisted Fate may be caught out once again. Ziggs is going to keep going, and they're on the Nexus turrets. I don't know if they can... They might be able to defend this with the brand, but Baron-empowered minions make this very hard, especially with their added magic resist. Without the Tristana, the wave clear is very hard, as well as the Ziggs have to charge to execute on the...
I'm calling it. This is probably it.
This is game 2 inhibitors, top and bot side gone, and that'll be game 1 going for the side of Poros on patrol over... Screaming Suns Gaming.
What a comeback. I honestly did not think that there was any way POP pulled this out. But like I said during the draft, right after they had their composition together, they had a window, a very specific window that they needed to really pull out all the stops and let Nasus just roll all over the map, and they did exactly that. So kudos to them. I definitely give MVP of Game 1 to Nasus.
Yeah, tuberculosis on that Nasus with a 402 scoreline. I'm not sure how many stacks he had at the end of the game.
About 5 minutes. About 3 or 4 minutes before the end of the game, he was sitting at 600.
Yeah, so doing a lot of damage to those turrets. It took about 4 or 5 Qs for him to take out the inhibitor turrets, and it took Twisted Fate and Ornn to even take him low. So good game 1 from the side of Boros on Patrol. There were some moments of question for both teams, especially around that Baron. Both trying to position for it and then making some questionable calls around it. Backpack going a little bit too aggressively, as is reflected by a scoreline 0-3-0. Not really getting to do much that game on the Twisted Fate. Getting caught out a lot.
Boy, oh boy. So, do you think SSG bans Nasus?
Well, I mean, I don't like Ornn and Nasus. I think I mentioned during pick bans that Ornn doesn't really harass the Nasus all that hard, and so Nasus should be able to and did farm fairly well against the Ornn, and it allowed him to get that or to get the stacks that he needed, as well as get a somewhat of an early lead in the top side, eventually getting to where he could skirmish. So if you have something like, let's see, Gnar was banned. That's kind of rough. You need something that can shut him down and not let him get a massive lead. And I'm not sure if they have it.
I'm not usually into this, but highlight a couple of exchanges happening in the chats here as we're talking about bans. Ginger Topher says, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, SSG needs to ban Backpack. Oh my gosh. Oh
yeah. It was a rough performance from Backpack. I'm not sure about the Twisted Fate pick. I could see where it would work, but the way he was playing it, he was using it to engage fights, and very good chains of corruption coming from the 80 carry from POP kept the rest of the team off while Backpack got blown up on the backside.
And this is, and I'm going back here just out of curiosity, and I'm looking back over the and it appears our streamer has made a very humorous, possibly intentional typo in the caster's box here, which will be fixed hopefully soon. You bastard. Anyways, I'm just looking over here at the result, and I'm just looking here over the match results, and just trying to just this is definitely an uncharacteristic performance from Backpack so far. So for right now, I'd probably chalk this up to I would definitely chalk this up to being just a perfect storm of just a rough situation. Usually he performs a lot better, especially on TF. And if I had to put my finger on what happened, I think he ended up running afoul of Nasus a little bit too often there.
Yeah. Rough game from SSG. They looked really solid in the early game, but they didn't really convert it into a lot. They got those 2 early Mountain Drakes, but they still ended up losing the Rift Herald, which, I mean, wasn't used to great effect by POP, but even still, not a lot of macro play in there. They had the play bot side that got their bot lead, and as well as first tower, but they felt like they were reacting.
Yeah. Well, it'll definitely be really interesting to see how the draft goes down for Game 2. Oh boy. There's a lot that I could see SSG banning, and I actually think that all of the reactionary picks would be a mistake. Because I do think that this was a sort of perfect storm fluke scenario, not to be clear, the fact that POP won at all, but the fact that Nasus was able to pop off so strongly in that mid game.
I believe
So
that
I
happened even in the
think.
chat.
Oh,
sorry,
for
in the
heaven's
lobby.
sake. Swap. Yes. Okay. Thank
Sorry.
you.
Just trying to get us into the next game. Having some lobby issues. Both teams have coaches, and so we have a full lobby when everybody's in here, and so everybody trying to get in order.
Rito, please.
You can't invite if there are if there are players who are in all of the pick slots. Oh, little issues with it. All right, where's the spectator link? There it is. Yeah. So next game, I don't necessarily want to see the Nasus banned because there's so many things that can do well into the Nasus. I think Shen's a very good pick, as well as if the Nari is left up, although it was banned last game. I think you could run Teemo. Don't run Teemo. I feel like there are a number of picks that could answer the Nasus, so I don't know if it's necessarily ban worthy. He's a fairly one-dimensional champion in that he needs to farm and then either split push or flank.
There really is just one path to victory there.
I mean, I suppose you could run AP Nasus, but I'm not sure if that's even halfway decent anymore. It used to be okay.
I mean,
not good,
it's
okay.
pretty good in ARAM.
Yeah, that's all I play. I don't know what map we're playing on right now. What's this? 5 ARAM lanes? 3 ARAM lanes? What are we doing?
Gnar would really have been the best pick. And interestingly enough, as I'm looking back through more and more results, the top laner for SSG, OK Dirty Dan, does actually have very strong records on Gnar and Jace, who would have been two of the best champions, I think, to shut down that Nasus lane early. But, I mean, very smart bans from POP.
Yep. Definitely realizing that they wanted to pick that Nasus and banning accordingly. There's the Zoe ban again. As we're getting into pick bans, Zoe ban for the side of SSG, keeping that the same. Not sure if the mid laner plays it, if that's a specific ban or just a generic Zoe's strong ban. Either way, very good ban.
It's the exact same bans from SSG so far.
So far, the same bans.
It's the exact same bans from both teams so far. What is happening with the? Okay, there's the Nasus ban from SSG.
SSG
once again
is banning the Nasus.
Once again, I want to make clear I feel that this is a mistake.
Yeah, I mean the Gnar has already been banned, but POP didn't ban the Jace in the first round last game. And so you could pick it in the first set of picks if you're afraid of that Nasus that much. But I guess
there's the Galio ban from SSG, and it looked for a second. And actually, I want to make clear here: the stream is flipped around. The names are backwards. So until that gets fixed, SSG is on the left and POP is on the right for Game 2. And our streamer, Ocelot Toes, is resolving that quickly. Thank you, sir.
SSG picked up the Varus, not letting that go to the other side. Warwick being hovered currently for the side of Poros on Patrol. They're going to lock that in. That was banned last game by SSG, so maybe a very strong comfort pick for the jungler of Poros on Patrol. It
looked for a second. Poros on Patrol hovered Twisted Fate before going Galio, which is actually something that they did in Game 1 as well. And I was about to say something very snarky and probably a little rude about Poros on Patrol not wanting to ban Twisted Fate, maybe, because maybe SSG should ban it. But it would be untoward. So
Poros on Patrol picking up the Tristana, a very good late game hyper carry. Just didn't get to pop off last game. Skarner pick.
Ooh, wow.
From Suns Gaming.
Very interesting. Poros on Patrol and SSG pick each other's ADC from game 1.
Yeah. I mean, they're both very strong right now. Varus with that Guinsoo's power spike and Tristana just being Tristana.
Right.
But Skarner will have some good lockdown under the Tristana. You cannot rocket jump out of Skarner's ultimate.
Thank God.
Corki locked in for the mid lane, so double 80 carry comp from SSG. Corki is very strong right now. Especially once he hits his Trinity Force, he does a lot of damage.
Very true.
I've only played him one game, lost it, but had a good score line.
Well, did you run him in the bot lane? Because that would be the problem.
I ran him in mid lane. I did not run him in support. I may be a support for my team, but I did not run him in support. And Maokai picked 4 Poros on Patrol, going for that safe top laner. Not comfortable enough to pick up a mid laner, or maybe not sure what they want to do with the mid lane. Going to pick that safe top laner.
Now, I will point out that this could always be Warwick top, however unlikely and possibly inadvisable that would be.
Yeah. Very possible that Maokai could go jungle, but not likely. but yeah, Maokai, a strong pick, regardless of how he does in lane, who he's up against. He's going to be tanky regardless. And Zyra banned by Toro, and Nami banned by SSG.
Once again, SSG is banning out early control disengage supports. It'll be interesting to see if they once again ban out Lulu here. Do you think they try to run Brand again?
I think the Brand was pretty good.
I would agree. The Brand was not the problem. They had a very dominant bot lane throughout basically the entire game until everything was just over.
Yeah, so Nami, Zyra, Viger, and Taric banned in the second round of bans. Taric, a very strong support in general right now, with his ultimate as well as his dazzle being able to be cast from 2 different places. He also has a lot of healing. Heimerdinger, oh boy,
this is going to be
actually Heimerdinger.
This is going to be interesting.
It looks like Heimerdinger is the lock-in. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for somebody.
Oh my God!
I'm waiting for somebody to say, "Psych, that was supposed to be somebody else." But
I'm waiting for someone to say, "Misclick, can we please take the 1 ban penalty?"
But it's not happening. So I think that's a Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger into the Corki, and that's a Karma pickup for support.
Wow. Okay.
Support. So that's a Heimerdinger.
Oh my gosh. So who does SSG pick to run top lane and round out this whole clown fiesta of a comp so far?
Ornigan? You need a tank in the top side, otherwise you're running an extremely squishy composition.
Yep, there's Ornn. But they kind of, I feel like they kind of had
the Instalock Blitzcrank.
Oh boy.
Oh.
I feel like they kind of had to run. I feel like they kind of had to run a mage support because while Corki's passive does throw down a massive amount of magic damage, I mean, it's still a very heavily AD oriented team right now. Very physical damage.
Ooh. Zaun being well represented by Poros on Patrol. So, a couple of picks I never thought I would actually see in Risen, even in Rampage. But I don't know. Maybe the Dominate players know how to play Heimerdinger better than my solo queue.
You know, I feel like newborn chimpanzees would know better how to play Heimerdinger than silver tier solo queue.
Yeah, that's fair. We can't play a lot. We can play Warwick.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's a skill shot?
What is a skill shot? Yeah, Warwick has one skill shot. Ultimate. We all know, so.
Yeah, and it covers half the map. All right. Anyway, with team compositions, a lot of damage from SSG with only Ornn being a tank and Skarner being a. I guess he's technically a tank. I don't know what else you would classify him as.
What? He's kind of a bruiser.
I suppose, yeah, he does okay damage, but they do have a lot of single target lockdown.
What on earth is the game plan here for either team? Honestly,
Don't get hooked from SSG. Just don't get hooked by Blitzcrank, because Blitzcrank can pull them into Heimerdinger turrets, which I think is one of the only ways in this entire game you can make Heimerdinger relevant, is to have somebody else on your team that forces people to interact with your turrets.
Oh my word!
I don't know what I'm watching. We'll see how this game goes.
Although that actually is an interesting point though. You've got, now that I'm looking at it again, you've got Maokai's ultimate, you've got Warwick's ultimate, you've got even Heimerdinger's own kit with the the flash grenade.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lockdown in Poros on Patrol's composition.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how else to respond to this composition other than yeah. But so SSG is looking for poke. That's really clear. Just Karma, Corki, Varus, they all have skill shots that cover like a full screen. Ornn has his ultimate to disengage. Skarner has his ultimate to disengage / engage. Karma has Mantra Shield to make everybody run away. And so a lot of poke from SSG, which could answer the Heimerdinger well, but looks like we're having a little bit of a delay going into like actually locking in, but it looks like we're ready now. There was a little bit of a delay. I wonder how much it will matter that Backpack's the one playing Corki.
Oh my word!
Hey, just a
no, it's a fair point. We would be doing as casters and analysts if we did not raise the point.
Mm-hmm. And he's a fellow caster, and so we're allowed to make fun of him. That's the rules, right?
Yep, I'm sure he would do the same to us, and probably will.
Yeah, he probably will. Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of CC to keep people in the Heimerdinger turrets for the side of Poros, if they want to keep them there. They do have a weird to say it. They do have a decent team fight with Maokai, Tristana, and I mean, if Heimerdinger can set up his turrets, he has a pretty good team fight as well. So I mean, there's that, I suppose.
Oddly enough, I feel like
there are some things you're never ready to cast.
Yeah, for real though. Oddly enough, I feel I literally have up here on my other screen the Leaguepedia page so I can look up what Skarner's abilities are called. Because I don't know.
Well, he has his Q, affectionately called the skill shot of his kit. He has his W, which does something. I don't play Skarner. He has his E, which also does something. I don't play Skarner. And he has his pillars. I play support. Those are the only things I care about. I stand on them and don't let him have them unless he's on my team. And then I usually don't let him have them. Because he probably doesn't know how to use them.
Oh my gosh!
So the streamer is telling me that I should mention that Yasuo is the best champion, and I'm here to notify you all that he is wrong. Yasuo is not the best champion.
Yep, he also
Yasuo
tried to get me to
loses
say
to
that.
Heimerdinger. Yasuo loses to Heimerdinger. Just want to throw that out there.
Well, if he's on your team in silver, Yasuo loses to everyone. Yasuo loses to ADC Nunu if he's on your team.
This is true. Yeah. Yeah. Very long range poke from SSG. A lot of damage.
Oh my word. I actually think that this game will come down to vision control because POP is running a very, very, very cheesy composition.
Yeah.
Like, it's like this whole team is built around the idea of let's get in this bush.
Yeah.
Hey, come here real quick.
Both teams are running double TP on their mid laners and top laners. What does Heimerdinger run on his runes?
Oh my word.
Does he run Aerie?
Probably. Oh my word. He's no, watch. We're gonna get into game. It's gonna be like Klepto Heimerdinger.
Ooh, that yeah.
Oh my word.
New meta. We Montusker is teaching us how to get to platinum. You play Heimerdinger
in solo queue. That'll do it.
Queue. Yep, that'll do it. You face all those Yasuos and silvers and gold. They don't know what they're doing.
Just a bit of cursory research here seems to indicate to me that most of the time, the accepted wisdom is that Heimerdinger runs Arcane Comet.
Okay, I guess I can see that. I don't know. I don't play Heimerdinger.
I would never play Heimerdinger.
I actually permaban Heimerdinger. Like if I'm in my solo queue, I will ban Heimerdinger.
Wait,
not
for
because
real?
he's not because he's strong.
Oh
not because he's strong, but because whenever my team picks him, they don't know how he works, and whenever the opponent picks him, my mid laner doesn't know how to play against Heimerdinger and feeds him.
No,
so I just ban Heimerdinger.
This is the rule of thumb of Elo Hell. It's one of the rules of thumb of Elo Hell. There are many. There are some champions that as soon as you see them, no matter which team they got picked on, you know you're going to have a really, really bad time. Yasuo is one of them. Heimerdinger is one of them. Shaco is one of them, where it's like if they're on your team, it's someone's little like 9-year-old brother who got on their account and is playing ranked. But if it's someone on the other team, that is a Korean Diamond Smurf. That is Faker's alt, his NA alt, and you are done. You should probably dodge.
So, Karma did have Ignite Flash for a while. Did switch that out for Exhaust. I don't even know how to talk educatedly and objectively about this pick from Poros on Patrol, the Heimerdinger and Blitzcrank, man.
Oh my.
You know, if Poros on Patrol, if that was the team composition that I was the opposite side of in a solo queue game, I might just dodge the game.
Because they either know exactly what they're doing or they have no idea what they're doing. And both are terrifying.
I don't know which one's worse.
Oh man, there's a wonderful quote from popular streamer I'm a Cutie Pie that definitely applies here, but I can't say it because it breaks our rules of what we are and aren't allowed to say. But basically, to paraphrase it, how can the other team know what the bleep you're doing if you don't know what the bleep you're doing?
Yeah.
And I think that'll do it.
I mean, no one knows how Heimerdinger works. Even
nobody knows how Heimerdinger works. I actually, a friend of mine. I love doing theory crafting. I love running the numbers, the math, trying to optimize as much as possible. And I actually had a friend of mine ask me to help him win an argument with Heimerdinger's numbers. So I spent probably an hour running different scenarios and builds and analyzing Heimerdinger And I feel like I have less of an idea now of how to play Heimerdinger than I did before that little adventure.
So you know how you mentioned that Heimerdinger typically runs Arcane Comet. He is running Glacial Augment. He is not running Arcane Comet or Airy. He is running Glacial Augment.
All right, and it looks like we're finally getting into game team and the of course the delay.
Yeah.
We are finally getting in.
Yeah.
Wow,
other than that weird
stream.
little pick that we call Heimerdinger.
Oh my gosh.
Everything else in the game seems pretty standard. Press the attack on Warwick. Unseal Spellbook on Skarner. Is he going to be switching out that smite?
Oh my word. You know, I wonder.
If anybody watches professional LCS, or I believe it was NA LCS, I can't remember who was playing it. Somebody switched out smite. Angry. Because they almost lost objectives because of it.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I love NA. Okay, so I have an unpopular. I actually on CS, and yes, I think you can say that it is quite at the same top tier play as the LCK, but or even EU LCS. But man, the presentation, the casters, the analysis, it's all on point. And we all kind of, together, analysts, players, coaches, and audience, get to just enjoy the big, beautiful bronze mess that is NALCS.
Everyone in NA deserves to be bronze. But anyway, we're getting into game now.
You're right.
Both junglers starting on the top side, getting leashed from their top laners. Heimerdinger already pushing in this wave with his towers. Corki trying to clear them out, taking a little bit of harass, but not too much. Both junglers are going to end on the bot side. Warwick going for a quick clear on his 2 buffs, though Skarner stopping for his wolves.
Which is interesting, honestly, because with Warwick, there's really... I mean, Warwick is one of the most dead simple 2 ways to play him. You can do a full clear start, or you can do a fast start. And the fast start seems to indicate to me that he wants to be ganking early, which I'm not sure how much traction he's going to be able to get early on.
Yeah. And he's stopping on his Gromp. Skarner is just clearing his red now. Blitzcrank positioning aggressively for this hook, going for this level 2 all-in possibly.
Although bot lane doesn't have escapes, so this could be it right here.
Karma already blown her flash and exhaust, and she's going to get bursted down. She might be able to take the Tristana, but nope, that's first blood going to Warwick. Skarner's going to try to do something in the mid laner, but the slows from the Glacial Augment actually is taking Heimerdinger there, not having to blow any of his summoners.
Skarner getting chased out of his own jungle here.
The Heimerdinger pick working so far.
Definitely, it was
3 minutes in, but Heimerdinger best champion in the game? Question mark. Is Heimerdinger
definitely going to the top of my tier list.
Let's see. Currently, nobody getting huge early leads right now. Ornn going in on the Maokai, though, is going to get some good damage onto him. But Maokai is going to pop his potions, try to get this wave under tower. Struggles CSing under tower a little bit.
What do you think Maokai hopes to do in the first, like just during the laning? Like what is he? What's his goal? What's his win?
You're playing Maokai and you don't win your lane.
For real.
It's really hard to win your lane as Maokai. It requires some misplays by the other side, but you're going to be relevant. Maokai is going to be a better tank than Ornn, and I would argue probably has a better engage than Ornn.
Right.
As far as a team fight engage. And so Maokai is just hoping that he doesn't feed, basically. And if he can get to the late game and keep people off the Tristana, then he's not going to win game or win lane, but he could win game. Missing the charge from the Ornn Maokai's going to trade a little bit of damage back. Still, it's Maokai.
Oh, wow.
Blitzcrank is from Blitzcrank.
Slim is on point with these hooks.
A lot of damage onto the Karma.
He's doing a really good job of threading the needle with those cues.
We do have a gank in the top side. Maokai going to flash out after using his Twisted Advance to stop the Ornn from continuing on. Heimerdinger still pushing the mid lane. Yeah, not a lot happening right now. At least as far as things that actually coming to ends meeting, I guess. Maokai going to use his TP to get back in the top lane. We'll see if Ornn answers with that or tries to keep that TP advantage.
Oh, here comes Warwick going
stun
for that.
onto the Corki.
Oh my god!
Good flash from Corki. Oh, but he's still going to go down to the Warwick. Warwick's going to go under tower and get that Skarner. No, not close enough to be able to assist his mid laner there. So that's 2 kills on the Warwick now. He's starting to get a little bit scary. He already has his Tiamat.
And I actually think that this is the point, like, as when you're playing Warwick, you're going to drop off, whether you're fed or not. And that's going to happen sooner rather than later. I think that actually here is the point that Warwick, now that he has a couple kills under his belt and he's got a strong start, he should be aggressively trying to get kills onto his carries.
Yeah. Skirmish is happening in bot and top side. Top side's just kind of a fighting in the minion wave. The champions may be having a wet noodle fight. Minions do a whole lot more damage than those champions right now. Going in on the Tristana right now. She's going to hide in the bush, get caught by the Karma Cube, but she's still going to get out fine with the rocket jump.
The thing is, though, Karma as a support is really at her. He has the follow up, and she can't follow up, not with a Blitzcrank. Just being so oppressive in lane.
Yes, Slim positioning really well on the Blitzcrank, not really afraid to take too much harass since he has that Relic Shield, allowing him to get a little bit of extra health from the minion executes. Heimerdinger still being impressive in the mid lane. Riveting CSing happening in the mid lane as Corki has to throw all of his mana just to stay near even. And
he's doing a pretty good job of staying caught up though, as he is less. He's like only about half a wave behind.
Yeah, he's not far behind. He just has to use all his mana to do so. Heimerdinger is just sitting on the same few turrets. Heimerdinger using his TP in the mid lane, not wanting to miss too much. Corki does have blue buff, and so he's not too worried about his mana right now. Guess Scar, I'm gonna give that to him. Ooh, a lot of damage going on the Heimerdinger. Get a Valkyrie in, but going to be taking a lot of return damage on the...
That's one of those... once again, Backpack getting a little too aggressive positioning as he uses Valkyrie to get right in between Heimer's 2 towers. 2 turrets, that is. And he has to back off and reset once again. And without TP, that is going to be the opportunity for Heimerdinger to get a significant amount of damage probably onto that mid tower.
Yeah. In that bot side skirmish that we just saw, really good sidestep from Itchy Rat to avoid the Blitzcrank hook. If he got hooked by that, he probably would have had to blow his heal and may not have even made it out then. But very good from him to not have to blow anything from that, expecting the Blitzcrank hook. Tristana is very low right now. We see Skarner here just clearing a pink ward in the mid lane right now. Mountain Drake is up. Neither teams really have too much of a strength in any of the lanes. I mean, there is a small CS lead for POP. Maokai starting to be able to hold his own in the top lane now. Yeah, currently it's just looking like everyone's satisfied to just continue to farm.
There is one thing here that Backpack is doing very right in his mid lane so far, and that is keeping the vision control so that he doesn't get surprised by Warwick again.
Yeah, he's trying to keep wards in the top side mostly, since POP has the bot side of mid lane pink warded. So it's very hard for him to clear any vision in there, as well as get his own. Since Warwick is just positioning to defend that. Just looking at vision. Just kind of generic lane vision right now from both sides. No deep vision like we saw last game from SSG. Although they don't really have the leads in any of the lanes to do that this game. But neither from POP. Bot wave is going to get pushed in. Maybe going for some deep vision. The bot side for POP looking for some vision.
Oh my
lot of damage
word!
on Corki. Corki flashes, but still gets hit by the Warwick ultimate, and he's going to go down.
Just a heartbreaking flash as it looked like he Warwick, but to Heimerdinger, hoping to dodge a skill shot, but Warwick happened to be coming at just the right angle that he hit the end point of the flash with his ultimate, and that was all she wrote. Backpack goes down again to the Warwick gank.
Yeah.
Although Heimerdinger did get that kill still.
Yeah. POP looking very strong in this early game now. I mean, they did choose some fairly strong, chose an early game jungler, as well as a bot lane that should be pushed in constantly, as well as Heimerdinger, who's pretty safe in his lane. Slim taking a turret shot for his trouble to miss that. Gonna take a little bit of damage on the way out, but he doesn't really care. Top lane is still a wet noodle fight. Mid lane turret did go down. Forgot to mention that. I mean, we watched it happen, but I still forgot to mention it. So that's more gold in the favor of POP. We're currently sitting at, oh, math, it's hard, 3K. Sitting at 3K right now. As Orange going to throw his ultimate down in the top.
Wow, but Maokai managed to dash through it.
With that twisted advance going on Trace. Well, Orange still going to be going fairly aggressively, going to get the knockup on the Maokai. Maokai going to throw the ultimate down. It's going to disengage the fight.
But it's mostly a distraction to keep him off keep aware of coming in. But we've got multiple TPs coming into top lane.
Corki is going to arrive first. Wants to deal some damage to Maokai, but has to Valkyrie out. Heimerdinger flashes?
Flashes and blows his ult to miss everything with that grenade.
Good hook from the Blitzcrank. That's going to be a lot of damage on the Karma. Good Chains of Corruption, going to disengage the fight before too much damage can be dealt to the Karma, such that the exploding chart, whatever that ability is called, explosive cask, before that blows up and gets too many charges on it. Looking to
Skarner's in.
A brilliant knockup from Ornn, but unfortunately Skarner's just a little bit too far away. Can't quite capitalize on that.
Oh man, that sucks for Blitzcrank. Losing his passive there to a stray Karma Q. Taking just a little too much damage.
Yeah. We can see a 10 CS lead for Montusker, but other than that, CS is staying fairly even across all the lanes, with just 3 in top, 3 in jungle, 4 in AD carry.
And other than the single tower that's been taken, seen any major objectives being taken or even really contested. No one has seemed to have any significant interest in taking Drake. No one has been interested in Rift Herald yet. And honestly, no one's Vision isn't even really set up for it, with the exception of that security control ward from the side of POP on Drake. Because not even even the Rift Scuttlers are both up right now.
Yeah, but both sides seem pretty content to just continue to farm up. POP just waiting for that Tristana and Maokai to be in a strong state. Heimerdinger's pretty much already locked in to be pretty solid just with it. He already has his Morello. An Ornn ult coming down again. Good twisted advance again, going to be dodging that knockup going on the Maokai, and Brittled auto-attacked, and going to be canceling the Q. Really, really good Maokai Q to cancel the pillar from Ornn. However, Corky's up here with Package. Is going to be throwing down his Q. Twisted Advance to dodge the knockup. Going to be throwing down his ult to try to zone off. Going to keep running. He has his team with him. Heimerdinger going to upgrade his E, and they're going to be doing a lot of damage onto the Corky. Those turrets doing a lot of damage. The Ornn is just trying to run away, but he flashes, but it's not enough because the Warwick just has his ultimate, and that's just going to lock him down.
And I'm just going to point out, because I love nothing, no wards from SSG there, and that is why they got caught off guard by Heimerdinger and Warwick and got demolished.
Good hook onto the Varus. It's going to be a lot of damage return, although Karma plus Varus does a lot of damage. So the Respect rocket jump from Tristana, not wanting to get caught by that burst. They're going to disengage the fight, satisfied with the damage that they dealt. Varus sitting at about half HP. And Skarner is down here now, looking to try to get this tower, maybe? Warwick's nowhere nearby. Heimerdinger's on his way down, but he'd probably be too late. Although, Blitzcrank looking very aggressive, taking a lot of damage. He flashes and hooks the Skarner under tower while Skarner's still taking turret damage. Blitzcrank will go down.
Slim did go down there, but he did save the turret.
So it's currently 2 kills on the Tristana. Teleport is canceled from Ornn, who wanted to TP down, but he was just a little bit too late, and that will be Mountain Drake, almost for sure.
I actually think that even if he weren't too late, this is the right play from Ornn here to go down there. He would probably. Always tough to tell exactly how close to dying Warwick is because of just how much health regen he has in his kit, how many opportunities for life steal or damage mitigation from his E. It's really hard to tell how much health he actually has, how much fuel he actually has left in the tank. But there was definitely a miscalculation there.
Yeah. All right, so that kill for the Varus is one of the first bright lights for SSG, getting some kill gold onto their AD carry. He now has his Guinsoo's as well as his Ninja Tabi, and so Varus is at a strong state now. Varus will be doing some good damage now. Ornn going for this ultimate onto the Heimerdinger is going to knock him out with the ultimate, and there's just so much lockdown just from Ornn if he hits all of his skill shots. So Heimerdinger is going to go down.
It's interesting because now it looks like, at least on the top half of the map, the vision game shifted a little bit. It looks like the coordination, some of the map POP has exhibited, is starting to fall apart a little bit, and SSG is starting to find the picks.
And no one from Poros is coming up to the top side to try to defend this. I guess they're just going to try to get this up, but they're not getting anything else on the map. With the 3 people committed from SSG, so they're going to get this tower free, as Tristana just has to go clear the mid wave so that they don't lose 2.
there's still a significant gold lead from all the kills, with POP standing 2K above SSG right now, but this could be the turnaround point.
If you want to look at the vision scores, you can see them in the scoreboard. A lot lower than last game at 20 minutes. The highest vision score currently being held by Slim with 45. Wards have not been the name of this game yet, and teams have suffered for it. This is a early Baron call upon spawn, looking to take this down. POP knows Skarner is nowhere nearby, and they will just get this for free. Heimerdinger does a lot of damage with those turrets set up, so they're just going to get Baron at 22 minutes.
And as much as I want to say, just have a knee-jerk reaction and say that was lucky, that Baron was just a desperation play because they might have started to feel the game slipping out of their control a little bit. They did back themselves up well on that. I mentioned just like 3 minutes ago the vision control not being present for POP on the top lane, but you look now at the mini-map, you have 6-7 wards, all of which came down in about in the minute before they made that Baron push. So they definitely backed themselves up well, and I can see some awareness of the state of the game going into that Baron, and it worked out for them.
Yeah. So currently, Ornn is coming down, trying to flank in this mid lane. Heimerdinger and Warwick are sieging this mid tower. Heimerdinger taking a lot of damage from the Karma Mantra Q. Ornn's going in on the back line. Heimerdinger tries to flash away. He's still going to get caught up by the Call of the Mountain. But he's going to... Zhonya's stopwatch. He's going to stopwatch, but he's still going to go down for his trouble. That's a lot of damage going on to the Warwick and to the Maokai. They're going to be going down. Tristana and Blitzcrank aren't in a great spot right now. They may be looking to try to clean that up since there are fairly low health bars from SSG. No, they're just going to try to get out. Boros on patrol just kind of caught out where they had no vision. They didn't have any vision on the top side, and New Horn was up there, and they just got caught off guard by his roam down.
That's a painful mistake as they lose Baron buff 3 of their 5 teammates.
Yeah. And they're going to lose mid tower. And so that's a big gold swing. Only 1,000 gold from Poros on patrol. Are we going to see another comeback from the early game? Just for the other team this time? Nobody.
Well, neither team has Nasus, so...
Yeah, this is true. So, going to be taking this Ocean Drake as all of SSG had to reset after that tower and fight. So they do get something, despite losing all their Baron buffs. Well, not all of them, all but 2. They get something. They get an Ocean Drake, but
this is the interesting thing that's because SSG is winning teams, but they're not really doing a very good job of contesting objectives, like actual objectives. And it's not even that their team comp is bad at it. It's like they're not even trying. Like, whether it was the Baron buff or both of the Drakes that POP has taken so far, SSG wasn't anywhere nearby.
Corki going in with his package in the bot lane. Heimerdinger is just going to disengage that with his E. Corki has to back away. He was probably running out on that package and just wanted to use it. But Skarner is here, looking to go in, gonna get that Q, but not gonna be able to proc his ultimate on it. And that's gonna be POP's note to go in on the mid tower. However, the Ornn ultimate's gonna disengage it pretty well. Maokai's just caught behind the entire rest of the team. He's gonna go down. Mid tower's gonna go down. Tristana's gonna... Oh, it's not gonna go down. Tristana's gonna rocket jump out. Gonna be pushed off by the Corki. The minions are gonna take that tower. Karma flashing in for the Mantra Cube. Blitzcrank should go down here.
Meanwhile, Heimerdinger is split pushing and is hoping to take this inner turret.
He's backing now, not knowing where a lot of people are, and so he just wants to get out of there.
This could be a successful siege for SSG onto the inner turret for from POP's mid lane.
Oh, that's a lot of damage onto the Tristana. However, Heimerdinger is here to defend this. If they can defend this, then the trade for the tower and the kills was okay. The gold lead really okay. So after all that SSG disengaged, the gold lead hasn't changed all that much, and so that little exchange, albeit extended, I think was won by POP because the tower is much more valuable than the champion. The 2 kills, I believe it was. But even still, they were 2 kills that didn't really need to be lost for any reason. They were doing a really good job at sieging that mid tower, and then just got a little bit too jumpy on it. Maokai going in a little bit too deep. Vars picking up that QSS, same with Tristana. This one makes a little bit more sense. There's a little bit more CC on both sides. Although there is no Wither to QSS this time.
Actually, both ADCs have picked up the QSS.
Yeah.
I think there's this sense that there's this mutual sense that a big part of this game is going to revolve around using the hard CC options available to shut down the carries.
Yeah. Yes. Skarner hasn't really got any ultimates off this game. It's hard for him to get in, especially when Tristana has the disengage she does.
Although he did play a pivotal role at Gang 15, where they were able to get the kill onto Heimerdinger.
Yeah.
At top lane.
Yeah. Good wave clear coming from the side of POP as well as from SSG. Ornn is split pushing the bot lane though. So Maokai split pushing the top lane. We have 2 low damage champions split pushing 2 lanes. Maokai has picked up that adaptive helm for the Corki as well as the Karma. He's not going to get this top tower. Corki's backpack's going to make his way up there, defend it, and Ornn's not going to get the bot tower. Tristana and Rocket jumping aggressively. I don't know if they have the chase. Skarner going a little bit aggressively in the mid lane. Going to be catching the Heimerdinger, who's going to get Chains of Corruption. Warwick going in on the Vars, who's going to QSS the ultimate, and Heimerdinger is just going to go down.
And once again, Heimerdinger position picked. There's the symmetry going on here, where it seems like these games are being largely decided by which mid laner positions worse.
Oh, Maokai is caught out. He's not going to get out of here. He's just running around trying to delay SSG's aggressiveness, but he's still going to go down full of trouble, and not much is going to happen. The blue buff transfer successful. So trying to go for this Baron. Blitzcrank trying to position this in a way to hook somebody over. There's going to be a TP used from the Ornn, no, the Corki, behind, and I'm not sure Warwick can get in. Karma positioned to zone off the Warwick, and Corki going to use this package to do more zoning. So that's going to be Baron going for. Oh, the Heimerdinger upgrade almost took that, but.
And SSG has now pulled ahead.
Good smite secure from XT, not letting the Heimerdinger upgraded rockets steal that from SSG. Alright, so gold lead in favor of SSG finally. We'll see what they can do with that. All outer turrets gone for both, not both teams. Top lane outer is still up for SSG. Yeah, just trying to farm again for this Tristana. Tristana's sitting just back to 100 gold. No, she's sitting on almost 2,000 gold right now. She's gonna get caught up by the Skarner. She's gonna use her stopwatch, and she's gonna rocket jump out, and she's gonna be fine. But that was her stopwatch down.
I actually think this is a pretty pivotal Drake here, because so much of this game is starting to be a matter of
Heimerdinger caught out by the Chains of Corruption. He's going to be throwing down that Sonya's. He's going to still go down upon spawn. Maokai's in the back, but with nobody to back him up. He's going to be going down. There's a lot of damage on the backpack. Not sure what happened there. But actually, low health bars on all of SSG after that fight. But they lose no one, got the Drake, and they got the kill respond to Maokai. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, it's okay. When fights happen, they happen. I think this Ocean Drake is actually end up being very pivotal because so much of this game is coming down to just who can have the most impact on most of the map at a time. You're not really seeing as many big 5v5 team fights as you are seeing little skirmishes all over the place. And with the Ocean Drake and the sustain that it brings, SSG is kind of ideally positioned to just have this relentless pressure all over the map.
Yeah. Horn pushed in this bot wave again. Maokai going to answer. Blue buff going over to the Heimerdinger again. We're going back to farming. Gonna try not to fight right now. Waiting for that Tristana to come online. Or get even stronger. She's already at a fairly strong point. She's currently 201 with a good amount of CS in her pocket right now. She just went back and spent that 2,000 that she was sitting on before. She has her red buff, and so she's pretty strong right now, but the siege going on top side from SSG, going to get a lot of damage on the tower. That's going to be a stun onto the Karma. She's going to get hooked in. Tristana's going to blow her up. So that's one down. Blitzcrank's going to get caught off by Skarner. Warwick's trying to fight, I don't know what he ulted there, or if he ulted anything.
He hit it, but Varus managed to QSS the ult.
Okay, missed the interaction there. Continuing to chase from Koro's on patrol, but I'm not sure how much they want to do this. Corki is just running backwards and throwing his rockets out, going to do a bunch of damage. Orn doesn't really care about Maokai. Maokai doesn't do a lot of damage to him, so he's going to take the tower and he's going to trade with the Maokai. He's doing actually a pretty decent amount of damage. He does have that Iceborne Gauntlet as well as the Abyssal Mask, but it's not enough. Maokai is going to get out of there just fine.
There's an interesting thing that happens with the rune right now, where most players seem to underestimate how big a component of its scaling maximum HP is. So where we were seeing Ornn really struggling to chip down in any meaningful way the turrets at top lane, you saw how quickly he was able to just destroy the inner turret on bot lane, because now that he's starting to get closer to full build, he's starting to have he has Warmogs now, but at the time he just had the Abyssal Mask and the Giant's Belt component of the Warmogs. His Demolish was starting to ramp up in power. And now that he has the Warmogs armor, he is going to be godlike sieging machine.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage to those towers. Rejoining his team in the mid lane. Alright, so at this point there's a slight gold lead for SSG, but not really something that either team is too scared about. It's, for all intents and purposes, a fairly even game. There's always the threat of the Tristana scaling.
Oof. That is not who Blitzcrank wanted to pull.
Oh, that was Ornn. Did not want to get that. Yet she keeps getting peeled down. She get a lot of damage returned, and that's going to be 3 for 1 currently. As Varus does a lot of damage, managed to get out of there with his QSS as well as his flash. A lot of stuff happened in that fight. Alright, and they're going to continue to siege this mid lane. Tristana and Heimerdinger can't do a lot about it. That turret's going to be going down. And so that's about 3,000 gold in the favor of SSG.
There really is only so much Tristana can do here. She's staying alive, and she's positioning in a way that she isn't jeopardizing herself. But for the most part, she's honestly kind of struggling to make a meaningful impact in these team fights.
Yeah.
At the risk of being a little bit too definitive with this, critique. I do think that Tristana needs to play a little more confidently into these skirmishes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more she can pick up that slack from Heimerdinger, the less he is going to have to put himself at fight.
Mm-hmm.
A brilliant engage onto backpack from Slim there. But it's not really going to come.
A lot of damage onto POP. The front line gets melted as Heimerdinger has to flash out, try to get out of it. I might be behind you there. I'm gonna try to catch up. Alright, and that's going to be Baron potentially going over to SSG, trying to zone off the Warwick. Warwick goes in, he does get a smite steal.
God!
Amazing steal! And Warwick is eating diverse trouble, but that was
smite steal.
Legendary smite steal. He's going to ult in. He doesn't hit anybody with the ultimate, but he doesn't care. He's going to smite that Baron. Going to be stealing that as Ornn was trying to zone him out, but going to do so unsuccessfully.
Though this is a Baron buff that's only going to go onto 2 POP, it doesn't matter because the bigger impact is denying it to SSG. If SSG had gotten that, they probably would have been able to leverage it into an inhib or two, and that would have spelled almost certain doom for POP. But they are very much still in the game now.
Mm-hmm. And they do have the Baron buff onto their 2 carries, the people who are clearing waves quickly and going to be able to throw that onto minion waves. The Infernal Drake will still go to SSG, but that feels more like a consolation prize after losing that Baron. 3 people going in on the Ornn on the top side. He's going to be throwing down his Call of the Forge God. He's going to miss the redirect. He's still going to get his knockup onto Heimerdinger. Tristana's here, though, to help. She has enough damage. There's 4 of them up here. Ornn's going to be going down. And that's the kill going to the support of Poros on patrol. And this
Ornn should not have all-in'd.
He was...
Oh, Slim keeps making these godlike hooks on... With the exception of that one little hiccup where he managed to pull Ornn at the wrong time.
Corruption onto the Maokai is going to be catching multiple people, and that's going to be disengaging the entire fight. Maokai throws down his ultimate, but it's just going to get SSG to disengage the fight there. A lot of damage, especially onto the front line, being tuberculosis on this Maokai. A lot of damage onto him. He's not much of a front line when he's sitting on 800 HP. And they're going to be sieging this mid inhibitor tower right now. As Corki had to reset. However, Maokai has to reset. He's clearing that bot wave. He does have TP, so he can join. Hook onto the Skarner. Heimerdinger takes a lot of damage from that Karma Mantra Cube. Decent siege damage coming from the Baron buff. Skarner flashes in to get the Tristana, who's QSS's. Rocket jumps out, heals the Redemption coming down from the side of POP. Gonna ult down onto the Karma. Ornn throws down his ultimate. He's coming into the flank. He catches the carries. Tristana tries to flash out. She does manage to just get out. She has no rocket jump. She's gonna go down. Maokai's on the back side here with the Skarner and with the Heimerdinger is gonna chase down. He's gonna be taking the blast cone, but he's gonna get killed by the auto. You can't dodge an auto attack. Maokai is gonna be trying to fight and maybe trade a kill, but he doesn't get anything. And so that's a clean ace from the side.
First
of
ace of the game. Wow. Just first impressions. I'd say place at the wrong time there because he was back there. He was trying to throw down CC onto the back line, but his carries were nowhere near there, and they couldn't follow up on it. They were too busy getting liquefied by Skarner and Ornn.
Yeah, Tristana had to blow her rocket jump early on before that fight, and so she didn't have it when Ornn came in on the backside. So that's going to be Inhibitor going to the side of SSG. First Inhibitor of the game, as well as a 7,000 gold lead.
Itchy Rat definitely going God mode here. There's definitely a sense that I'd like to think that after game 1, he was just like, no. This is how you play Varus.
Mm-hmm.
And he is sitting on a 13. What a scoreline.
It's a lot of damage. He's currently sitting on 5 items plus his ninja tabby, looking to sell that next, I suppose. Double adaptive helm from the side of Poro's on patrol, on their jungler, and top laner. Looking to try to block some of the Corki damage, Karma damage, even some of the Varus damage. I'm not sure if it's enough. He just has, with his Guidsus, Wit's End, that was just a lot of damage right now. Yeah. Blade of the Ruin King on Tristana. Looking for that tank shredding capability.
It's very interesting to note that that Varus has not built any tank shredding capability into his. And I think the reason for that is probably that he is accurately realized need to.
And I mean, I believe if I don't know, I don't play AD carry. I believe his passive gives him tree damage or something along those lines, right? I think his passive does that. It's the thing where his auto tech stacks and then he hits him with an ability. I'm probably completely wrong on that.
You're talking about Varus?
Yes, I'm talking about Varus, and I'm probably wrong.
Varus is no, it's true.
I am wrong.
No, it's you're half right. Varus's auto attacks, because of his W passive, apply stacks onto champions, which are popped by his abilities. Right. And when they pop, they do percentage of max HP damage.
We have a team fight, a lot of abilities being thrown around. A lot of damage being popped onto the back line of POP. Heimerdinger getting knocked up. That is 4 kills for the side of SSG.
This is probably it.
This is probably game, and that looks like we're going to be going to a game 3. SSG taking game 2 after POP takes game 1. We're going to try to defend this, but I don't think he can do anything about this. He doesn't have the wave clear. He has to get in the melee range for it, and that's going to be the Nexus going down.
What a game.
Yeah, the Dabbing Penguin. Dabbing Penguin from Karma. Good game from both sides. SSG just played the team fights a whole lot better. Ornn with the points was very strong. The Heimerdinger did not pan out. 2, 5, and 6 on the Heimerdinger.
He kind of suffered from very much the same problem that Backpack did in game 1, where he was just in the wrong place and the wrong time at the wrong time, and he would get jumped on by Ornn or Skarner, and just really Heimerdinger just has no escapes. Very, very little to speak of in the way of mobility.
Yeah, so good game coming from Screaming Suns Gaming. Lot of spread kill participation, 27 kills for their entire team. Karma sat at 25 assists, so high kill participation, 80 carry at 14-0-10. That's a massive scoreline for an 80 carry. He was full build by the end of the game. No, the closest person other than him was Tristana, who was approaching full build.
He did a colossal 45,700 damage to champions.
Just shredding them with that.
He was just always there. He did 30% more damage than the next champion in the game, which was Heimerdinger on the other team.
Mm-hmm.
And as I had suspected, a big part of the problem that POP faced here was Tristana not really being present enough when it came to damage. She did 21,845 damage, which, out of all the carries who were present, she did by far the least damage. And though she did, though it was borne out by the fact that she only died twice, she played very safe, almost one could say fearfully, and it showed in terms of the impact that she had in team fights and in map control, which was virtually none.
she did less damage than the Ornn on the opposite side of the map.
Yikes.
That's a rough game for an AD carry.
Yep.
But that will be taking us to a game 3. And so I believe we'll probably be taking a quick break. Yeah. See you guys as soon as game 3 we get into draft.
All right, and we're back. And if you'll notice, my voice is different. That's right, it's Ocelottos. No more Author Cook. What is up, everyone? How you doing, Will?
We're already into pick ban. Starting this a little bit late. Same bans for both sides as last game. Ezreal, Nargalio, Zoe, Nasus, Anivia. Varus being picked up for POP at the start, as well as Skarner for SSG, thinking the Skarner worked out well in game 2. All right. So we're into game 3. Match point between Poros on Patrol and Screaming Suns Gaming.
Yes,
Ornn picked up 4 Screaming Suns. Liking that picking it for all 3 games.
doing a really
Trying.
good job last game on it. That was really impressive on the side of SSG. Ornn really was able to peel a lot that game and really save his carries. Kind of won him that game, if you ask me.
Poros on Patrol not saving their support pick for the second round this time, picking up that Nami. hopefully, or hoping to show us why that was banned from them the previous two games.
Absolutely. And we see Pop picking up that Varus. Obviously, they don't want to give that to SSG again, as that kind of carried them and won them that game last game.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
Yeah,
have to see what SSG does in response to it this game.
that's the Viger pick for Pop again. Both
Ooh,
teams not looking like they want to save their support picks for the second round, picking up Zyra and Nami. It could be Zyra mid lane, but I find it more likely that it's in the support role.
and we see
So
that.
pick ban going a little bit differently. The Sedge ban.
Yeah, we see that Nasus ban again. SSG really kind of got destroyed by it that first game, so obviously wanting to ban it out and better their odds if you see that coming in again. I think they really picked up, so Author Cock might have not been correct on his assumption with that. That Nasus pick really won them that first game, so we'll have to
Yeah.
see what Pop decides to take instead.
Tristana is this next ban for Pop this game. We're going to see a different 80 carry pick this game, other than the standard Varus Tristana that we've seen the last two games. Jarvan banned from SSG, getting rid of both of those priority junglers, having already picked their own. They don't want to give a strong jungler to Poros on Patrol.
Absolutely, and
Unbiased
there's that
opinion, I think
Xayah
Poros
ban.
on Patrol should pick up Zach, but that's just
We
me. I
We
don't know
might see
if
SSG try to get that Twitch pick, perhaps. They banned out two really strong hyper carries with Xayah and Tristana. Xayah maybe not being as good, but we'll have to see what SSG does in response. They're really trying to
maybe a
stop them
focus.
from getting that hyper carry.
Corky being hovered currently. That could be Corky for a backpack, or it could be Corky in the bot lane. I find that less likely, but still something that they're leaving open by saving their 80 carry or mid pick for last pick. Because Corky can go in the 80 carry position. Uh, he's just not what I would pick into any 80
Right.
carry currently in the meta, other than maybe
Yeah,
Lucian. Lucian's not in a good spot.
I think that's going to be backpack on Corky again. We did see him do really well last
Yeah,
game, being absolutely dominant with his
yeah.
Qs and Es. We'll have to see what they decide to go
Shyvana
instead.
lock in from Poros on Patrol. Farming jungler. I know you're quite partial to Shyvana.
Sharvana is really good. She can dive that backline and keep them busy while your front line destroys their. I mean your backline destroys their tanks. And we see that Twitch pick,
That's the
like I was
Twitch
saying.
that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Good double 80 carry composition from SSG. That will be the Zyra support.
So
Like I talked about.
we only see two different picks from last game with that Zyra and Twitch trying to switch it up in the bot lane, maybe get it more dominant. They have Nami with that Varus. We don't see any Lulus coming in, which I feel like that might have been a little bit better with that Twitch or that Varus. So we'll have to see
Yeah.
how they decide to play this.
Zyra has some large AoE CCing.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Especially with
it,
that
it
Orange, Skarner, and Corki.
yeah. They have a lot of AoE zoning tools to keep people off of the Corki and the Twitch, who are very prone to getting dove upon, as we saw last game. Uh, the few times early game where Warwick got to gank that mid lane, Corki would fall almost immediately,
Absolutely.
just to the Warwick. I mean,
And oh my gosh, in chat, we see the bathroom break from Montusker. Absolutely insane. No one saw that coming. We'll have to go
uh,
ahead and see how that goes for Montusker. We'll ask him when he gets back how his bathroom break did go.
oh boy. Yeah, so just reminding going into game three, this is SSG sitting at 6-2, and Poros on Patrol sitting at 5-3. So fighting for possibly first, more likely second place in their division, trying to get that superior seeding come playoffs. So this is a big game for both teams, as the loser could be in a rough scenario come playoffs. Uh,
Absolutely. And I will state right now, I'm a little bit biased towards SSG. Backpack obviously being a very cute man. I like to see him win. So we'll have to see what they decide
yeah.
to do here.
We'll see. Varus has proven to be a very strong 80 carry within this series. And so Poros on Patrol do have some strong options here. They also have Viger, who can blow up most of the members of SSG, barring the Ornn and maybe the Skarner, Shyvana can dive that back line. Twitch doesn't have a whole lot of mobility, as well as Maokai. So Portals on Patrol do have options uh, available to them. The Nami pick is a little bit odd, but I can see where how that could work.
And it looks like Montusker is back from that bathroom break saying he's ready here, so we'll go ahead and switch over to that draft. Obviously, a very broken bathroom break there on his part. He was able to get a lot done there, so hopefully he'll be able to translate that bathroom break into a win for their team. We'll have to find out.
Please. Please. Uh, yeah. I mean,
So based on team comps here, Will, what are you thinking as far as things go? Who do you think's winning this one?
uh, SSG. I mean, the only trouble that you have with a double 80 carry comp is if you have no way to get, like, if they're easily dove upon.
Right,
And
absolutely.
Ornn and Zyra, with their AoE ultimates, it's so easy for them to keep people off of the Corki and the Twitch. As well as both Corki and Twitch have some really good tank shred for the 1.5 tanks that Poros on Patrol have, as well as they just outrange the Varus. I I find it hard to see a world where Poros on Patrol win this. However,
Definitely.
the Viger can pop people with his
Absolutely.
ultimate. Just
Yeah.
Q
Especially
ultimate
Yeah, especially
is so
on
strong.
a less mobile mid laner like Corki. He
Mm-hmm.
does have his W to get out of a lot of them, but he's going to have to really focus on positioning himself in a position to not be bursted down immediately by that Veigar. And we do see Rosen and Pekdar in chat. What is up, guys? Thanks for watching. We love you over here. Getting into pick bands. As far as matchups go, who do you think's going to win this top lane, Will?
I mean, we saw the same matchup last game, even same players playing the champions. It's pretty even. Ornn will push early, and then after that, it just becomes a wet noodle fight.
Yeah, and I
Ornn
do.
can outpush the Maokai if he uses a lot of mana,
Right.
but
Yeah, I think that matchup is just gonna be like wet noodles up top lane as it tends to be. So I'm gonna have to not give my give my
yeah,
I don't know. I don't I'm really worried about this top lane. I don't know who's gonna win personally. I
yeah.
do see you in there. The monkey did it again. Happy to see ya. Still not as broken as seeing Rosen in there. He is definitely one of the more busted chatters, I will say. He's very strong right now after his previous buffs.
So who do you give the jungle matchup to? Being a
Jungle
jungler.
matchup. Oh, being a jungler. It really depends. Shyvana is not very dominant early. She can't really get those early game ganks off, and Skarner is in a really good position right now after the
Mm-hmm.
recent buffs that Riot gave him to his kit. So
Mm-hmm.
as far as matchups go, I think Skarner wins this jungle matchup unless Shyvana is able to get a lot of early game pressure onto the Skarner. But just based on her kit, I don't think she will be able to, especially if she fights in those Skarner zones where he has that extra mana regen and extra attack speed. We'll have to see what she does decide to do here.
Right now, it looks like Corki is going to be taking that cleanse, trying to get wants to be able to avoid the Viger traps, uh,
Absolutely.
not get caught by those stuns. Viger's running Ignite, looking for uh, some damage for his all-ins. Zyra also going Ignite,
Really, yeah,
and
definitely.
Nami going Exhaust. Other than that, 80 carries have to go heal Flash basically all the time. Shyvana going, Shyvana and Skarner going Smite Flash. Who would have thunk it? And top lane going with Teleport.
I do see you in there, Wasingo saying Rosen is a gay man, and you are absolutely incorrect. He's a very attractive, very straight, very single man. But thank you for your input. All right, as we
Yeah.
get into the delay here, just on the different bot lane picks, they did decide to change it up a bit. Will, what are you thinking Twitch and Zyra versus Varus and Nami? Who would you give it to?
Man, I don't like either support. I don't play either support. Uh, it's a farm lane. Varus wants to farm until he gets his Guinsoo's Rage Blade, and then I think he positions a little bit more aggressively. Nami also has some uh, stronger engage than Zyra does. However, Twitch has a really strong late game. He has good sustain in lane, despite not having a heal, which Varus will have this game with the Nami. The Zyra could harass, but the Zyra should not basically the Nami and Zyra should just nullify each other. Zyra pokes, Nami heals it up. So I think it's just they're waiting for power spikes.
Right, exactly.
I don't think a lot's going to be happening until 6, where Varus does get his Chains of Corruption, where I think that they can pull an all in with Nami Tidal Wave. Uh, on top of that, they have a lot of straight line CC, as well as Shyvana. So like once they hit 6 between those 3 champions, they have a lot of dive potential
And it's
onto
really
the very immobile bot lane of
right.
Poros on patrol. Am I switching teams up onto
You're fine.
SSG?
And it's really interesting because honestly, I would have rather seen Nami with Twitch and Zyra with Varus, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, I mean, Zyra and Twitch is a good matchup. It's just Twitch really doesn't have quite the follow-up that an early game Zyra would want as far as Varus would, and Varus doesn't really have the damage to protect a Nami. So it's really interesting. Um, the support picks. Maybe would have liked to seen, like I was saying, a Lulu with the Twitch instead of the Zyra, but Zyra is still very strong. We'll have to see what they decide to go for here.
I think SSG just kind of wants to wait till the late game. Even though the Viger will be stacking his passive, where he gets that permanent ability power, with running a double ADC comp, you could just blow up the Viger before he even gets off his ultimate. So long as you stay wary of his cage, and come late game, if you're not worried about the Viger, you're not worried about anybody on their team. The Varus
Yeah,
will be pretty strong, but he's no Twitch. Maokai is a tank. Horn's a
right,
tank. They'll be relevant because tanks.
exactly.
And come
And
late game, Nami becomes less useful than Zyra.
I do hear in the background there your roommate coughing. Will, how is he doing after those recent nerfs to his lungs? I know Riot did decide to nerf him a little bit.
You're tilting me, Caleb.
All right, we're gonna go. The game has started, so we'll go ahead and
Fast forward. All right.
beautiful.
All right, so we're getting into game. We do have
Now,
the top hat penguin, but no dabbing penguin yet.
no dabbing penguin, luckily. If we saw that dabbing penguin, we would pretty much just give the game to SSG at that point. The dabbing
Yeah, it would have
penguin's
just
just
been game over.
right. It's just a bit too strong at this point. Riot really does need to nerf that.
Yeah.
Both
Setting
both teams.
setting up similar lines of defense as game one, with the jungler showing in mid lane for Poros on patrol, looking to not give away where Shyvana's starting. I mean, she'll probably start on her bot side. She does a whole lot better with that red buff than she does with her blue buff, but still don't want to give away a confirmation of either decision. Skarner, though, showing in the top side, he's probably going to be starting. I would start him on the bot side, but I'm not a jungler. I'm bad at this game. I'm stuck in silver.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to do his top side. Interesting. That's going to put Ornn a little bit behind, but maybe their idea is that if their Twitch and Zyra gets to lane sooner, they can set up for something, maybe do a little cheese here. But it does look like Skarner is going to start his red side. He does get a lot of mana back from his little Skarner spots, as I like to call them.
Maokai puts that, not necessarily a deep ward, but a ward right by the Baron pit, hoping to catch Skarner on maybe grabbing the Scuttler Crab to fully confirm that Skarner is starting topside and that he didn't just run down bot. Although they do see the bot lane, so they should know that he starts on the top side. So the jungler for Pio for Pop is going to end her clear on the top side. Maybe looking to gank top, or maybe we'll just come down to mid. They've done that the last 2 games.
And it looks like Skarner's idea here might have been to get his Zyra to level 2 before their Varus and their Nami by having them go down a little bit before they got there and get the minion wave pushing, get a little bit of minion XP going there to get Zyra a little bit ahead, be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
Nothing
You
too
can see Corki pushing in the Viger.
Yeah, Corki
This
doing
top,
a good job.
this top lane is going to be riveting gameplay coming from the Ornn and the Maokai
Absolutely.
as they auto attack each other.
We see Corki
For
pushing
no
that
damage.
Veigar. Veigar does not have that early game wave clear quite like the Corki does. So we'll have to see what goes on.
He'll just be
there.
trying to stack his passive.
Absolutely. We see Skarner possibly making his way to the bot or the mid side, or maybe just getting one of his Skarner spots by the jungler. Nevertheless, he is heading up towards his blue.
Viger did go with Unsealed Spellbook. I've seen a number of things run on Viger. So we'll see if he ends up switching out his spells. He did start with that Ignite. Looking for that early trade potentially. Potentially.
Absolutely.
3 stopwatches across the entire game.
This is the last game of this series between Pop and SSG, so this will determine who ends up winning it. This is the one for the money. I did make a bet with Backpack last game that he wouldn't win, and if he did, I would get him a skin, so it looks like I'm going to be having to buy Backpack a skin here.
Don't count your RP yet. We still have a lot of a game ahead of us. We're only 3-4 minutes into this game. Not much of a gold league happening. Bot lane, Twitch does have a decent CS lead over the Varus, sitting at about 10 CS of a lead. Same with Ornn. Ornn sitting at 10 CS up on Maokai. That's where pretty much all of the 6k gold lead is sitting for SSG right now. Harassing the Maokai, though, a lot better than he did last game. He's a lot healthier on mana this time.
Absolutely.
This
And
bot
I
lane
did,
constantly being pushed in.
To clarify here, I wasn't being a little bit cocky saying SSG. That was the last game. I promised Backpack a skin if he won. And he did win that game last game. I don't know what he's going to do this game. He is Backpack. He is liable to throw as he does.
That makes a little bit more sense. A lot of damage on the Montesquieu from Backpack on that Corki. Both of them are running a little bit low on mana, so they're probably going to be backing relatively soon. Both very close to 6. This bot side, just a lot of harass coming from SSG, with the plants from Zyra as well as the expunge from Twitch.
Might see a kill.
We might see a kill up in the top lane. He misclicks onto the minion, and he's not going to be able to kill the Maokai. Maokai's going to get away with a sliver, sitting at that 40 HP. That's an auto attack.
So even though she has that Twitch, Zyra is doing such a good job of harassing this bot lane and keeping the lane pushed in. Shyvana really can't do anything about it because she is so oriented towards getting her first jungle item and getting her clears done so that she can get to level 6. So they're able to really abuse this bot lane and get Twitch ahead. He's ahead by about 8 or 7 CS here, so he's doing a good job.
SSG's showing some strong laning phase as both solo laners are sitting at about 10 CS lead, 10 plus, and their bot lane is sitting at a pretty sizable lead that should even up as soon as this wave crashes and Varus gets that cannon and the 3 minions, but that will still be about 10 CS that he's down. So just slowly creating advantages all around the map just off of ability to farm and pressure the lanes.
We saw a little skirmish coming out there mid with Veigar and Corki. However, Corki was just able to get out of that one, no problem.
Used his cleanse as he walked into the wall of the cage. So that will be down, and a potential gank opportunity for the Shyvana, who's should be hitting 6 relatively soon. She's going to romp in. But they saw, did they see Shyvana? I'm not sure if they saw Shyvana on the top side, but maybe they made the assumption But that's going to be Dragon going to SSG now.
Absolutely.
Having that map control, having the pressure in all of their lanes, they didn't really have to worry too much, and they could grab that early Infernal Drake. That it doesn't do a lot yet in the game, but it's a very powerful Drake, especially once you have built some damage, gives you that percentage boost
And we
to
see
your
not a lot of
damage.
like, we don't see a lot of insane like picks or fights going on anywhere, but SSG is doing a good job of slowly pushing themselves toward a bigger lead. So hopefully they're able to do something with that.
We have a little bit of skirmish in the bot lane, just trading damage onto the supports. It's a pretty even trade, taking about 300 HP from each. Good knock up onto the Maokai. He's going to be fine to get under his turret. He's going to actually go back, try to get some healing off on that cannon. Both 80
Absolutely.
carries right now, sitting at well more than their BF. Twitch just hit 2,000 gold that he's sitting on right now. Wants to go
Yeah,
back
and
and
if you
spend
notice,
that.
none of these Nami bubbles have really connected onto the Twitch or the Zyra. They're doing a really good job at keeping themselves at bay and not getting hit by those. That could be detrimental if they did end up hitting one. Twitch is now level 6.
There was a gank mid lane, it looks like. Didn't turn into anything, but it was there. Top lane still has a 10 CS lead for the Ornn. Continuing to trade. Ornn ultimate will come down, looking to knock up the Maokai. Gonna get that brittle proc on him once. He does have the brittle activated, but he's not gonna be able to get the auto attack for it. Good trade for the Ornn. But that will be ult down.
Absolutely, and now Ornn does have to back. He was able to get the lane pushing in his favor before he decided to do so. Maybe that was his plan all along, or he was
But
trying
does
to
he
kill
need to
the
back?
Maokai.
He's Ornn. He can make items in his lane. He doesn't need to back.
Decides to get a Negatron cloak and just come right back into the lane. I don't know what his plan was there. He did end up using his ultimate. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, Maokai is just a little bit too tanky for him to do too much.
I mean, sure, Ornn used his ultimate, but it's not like Maokai can really do anything to punish that. So long as Ornn respects where Shyvana could be, or knows where Shyvana is, he's gonna go back in on the Maokai. Maokai has to flash away. He's only one auto attack away from dead. I don't think Ornn can catch up to him. He's not going to get that. But that is the flash blown for the top laner of Pop. And just more resources, not necessarily gold, but just pressure resources going in the favor of SSG. They're just slowly winning all their lanes.
Absolutely. We see some um, CS leads on the side of SSG. Their mid laner up about 7 CS. Their bot laner up a good 20 CS. Their top laner up also a good 20 CS almost. About 17 there. So they're doing a good job here. Shyvana's 2 CS ahead of the Skarner, which, all things considered, that Skarner is doing pretty good. Shyvana does have a pretty quick clear. She is level 6 though, so she's going to start looking to do stuff here. We'll have to find out what she decides to do.
We saw a little bit of a trade in the mid lane, but neither of them really care about using mana right now. They both got their blue buff from their junglers. Gonna Quirky going for that pressure, but Zyra's just gonna throw down a bunch of abilities onto the Varus. He's gonna flash out the expunge from the Twitch, not nearly enough. Teleport coming in from the top laner of Pop. Shyvana comes in, and the teleport from might be a little bit too late, and I lagged there, and so I'm gonna be behind. First blood going to the Maokai.
Absolutely. What we kind of saw happen there was we saw the Maokai decide to TP in, but their top laner didn't immediately follow up, and unfortunate for him, that just kind of resulted in his 80 carry going down.
Questionable stopwatch from the Viger. Stopwatching underneath his tower before Corki had picked up tower aggro, and so he just dies for really nothing from Corki. Corki didn't have to expend anything to even get out of there. Didn't have to use his flash to try to drop aggro on the turret. So that's going to be more gold going to the side of SSG.
SSG doing a good job here. Unfortunate that they did get that Maokai a kill just now when he came down. However, it is just Maokai, so it's not a huge deal. He's still behind CS.
Zyra does get caught by the bubble, but Twitch damages so much. As this chain of corruption is going down on the Twitch, it's also going to disengage that. The CC used in very disjointedly, so it doesn't really matter. Skarner's coming in, but he's seen. He's going to back out. Shyvana going in on to flank the Ornn, though. Ornn's going to try to use his Call of the Forge God to try to trade a kill here. He may even get out of here without dying. No kill trade. So not a very successful gank from the Shyvana.
Looks like
Good
you're-
use of the Call of the Forge God
Absolutely. Looks like
to
you're still
disengage that.
a little bit behind, Will, if you're able to speed up there.
Yep.
Still see some trades coming in from Ornn. We see Skarner looking to maybe go down and dive bot lane. Does he decide to? We got Corki and Skarner coming in.
That will be the tidal wave used to disengage. Nami's going to go down as a lot of damage from the Corki. Skarner ult goes down on Vivars, and he's going to die as well. Skirmish happening in the top. Viger did use his TP down here. There's not a lot for him to do. He does a lot of damage to the Zyra, but it's not quite enough to eliminate her. What's his stacks at? That was a lot of damage that I just witnessed. He already has 83 ability to our stacks. It's not all that much. Not as much as it felt like. I suppose Zyra doesn't have a lot of HP.
Looks
I'm
like
just
they're able to get
overreacting.
the Cloud Drake off of that little clown fiesta they just had bot lane with the 4-man.
The Clown Drake.
Cloud.
Alright, that's a lot of damage going on to the Corki. The ultimate is not quite enough to execute the Corki as he Valkyries away after the cage goes down.
Beautiful
so he's
job
just
by
gonna back up.
Corki getting out of there. Good job, Backpack, protecting himself there from the Vigar combo. So now Vigar is down his ultimate and his nothing else, just his ultimate.
So what is Corki gonna buy? He can't quite. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Okay, he's gonna stay for his Triforce, maybe? No, that's really unfortunate to have all the pieces to your Triforce and not be able to quite finish it.
Absolutely, that's just such a huge power spike for Corki that he doesn't get. He is 3-0 though, matching CS with his Vagar, so he's doing a pretty good job for himself. Making a name for himself out here on the streets.
On the streets. Yeah, so Corki has a lot of gold right now. He's about to hit his Triforce. Viger did get his Morello combo. It's a considerably cheaper item and also not really Viger's power spike. Maokai finally pushing this wave in. Finally maybe able to do something besides just get pushed in the entire game. Still down that 20 CS though. Because Ornn just doesn't care.
We do see Backpack doing a really good job. However, Shyvana is right by the mid lane, maybe looking to do something. Never mind, she says
She is seen on a ward.
Yeah, she said she's going for her golems. Frick off, Mont Tusker. So,
yeah.
we do see Skarner still actually getting ahead in CS and giving that blue buff to the Corki. Absolutely doing a great job in his jungle. He hasn't been all over the map as much as he might like to be, but late game I think he's really pressing for, so I don't think he cares too much about his early game presence here.
I mean, there also hasn't been a lot of opportunities for him to do much of anything. All three of his lanes have been pushed in pretty much all games. There's nowhere for him to really flank the opposing laners. Ornn has been pushing in this Maokai under turret all game. Corki's been pushing in the Viger, and the bot lane's been very oppressive for the side of SSG. So Viger just kind of throwing off on Viger. Skarner sitting back there just waiting for somebody to need him.
Looks like
A lot of
Skarner's
damage
going
onto the
in.
Viger though. Corki doing a lot of damage on that blue buff. He doesn't really care, using all of his rockets to harass.
Yeah, it looks like Skarner may be looking to do something to this Vagar, waiting for Backpack to show up, but they decide to not do it as they don't have any vision on the Shyvana quite yet.
This bot tower may just be going down for the side of SSG. Shyvana is here. Skarner does get caught out. He does get pulled up. Chains of Corruption. He goes down very quickly, and is the teleport going to go through? The teleport has been canceled by Maokai. He wasn't needed. The kill had already happened. He canceled it. He's going to keep wet noodling with Maokai. The all-in from the Twitch, he's not going to pull the trigger on that ultimate. Afraid of they don't have the vision on, didn't have the vision on the Nami at the time, so was a little bit afraid of that 1v1 turning into not his favor.
And so although we didn't see although we saw Skarner go down there, they were able to get a bot tower off
See-
of that and get Maokai's TP, so they did a good job, even though they lost their Skarner.
We saw a flash ultimate from the Zyra that ultimately turned into nothing as Varus flashed out of it. So that's important summoners blown for each side. AD carry is now flashless, as well as the support for SSG no longer has their flash. But probably more important that the Varus lost the flash than the Zyra. Zyra not really using that too much, other than to get away, whereas Varus really needs that to get away. Although we do see a gank in the mid lane, Skarner going in to try to grab the Nami, flashes into Ulter, and she's gonna go down.
Absolutely.
As she tries to flash away. I'm not behind, I was just slow.
Oh, you're fine. So
my
it
brain was
looks
slow.
like
Oh,
we saw...
Corki just gets blown up.
Absolutely. We see bot lane coming up top lane, looking to maybe get a tower here, or do something. They are without any vision on them, so they can just sit in these bushes and perhaps get a lane gank off. They have a vision ward in that top lane bush, maybe looking to do a Rift Herald here, or dive this Maokai. Yeah, looks like they get a tower for free here, as everyone is near bot side.
Corki used his flash in the mid lane too, just to die, because Viger ultimate is in fact not a skill shot. That is a point and click ability. You cannot dodge it.
We see them decide to go for Rift Herald here. A very
Shyvana
good decision, as they have vision on everyone else down in the bot side.
Shyvana resigning herself to losing that Rift Herald to trying to set up vision for the Drake, which will be spawning in 30 seconds or thereabouts. Expecting the reset from XT, who is resetting.
SSG doing a really good job with these dragons this game. They have a Cloud Drake, so if they do decide to go for that and try to contest that dragon, Skarner and Ornn could be there. They're very fast now that they have that Cloud Drake.
The macro
spawning in about
play
3
looking a
seconds.
lot better from SSG this game than previous games. They seem to be making decisive decisions. Both teams setting up for this Drake, which will be spawning in 3 seconds. You can see it on the wall there. Viger setting up the stun. He does catch the Skarner with the stun, however, he doesn't throw any abilities at the Skarner. So Skarner's going to walk away.
They have good vision around this area. Put down another vision ward. They have the Skarner spot, so they do have slightly advantage here if they decide to do a dragon fight. And it looks like they are deciding to go for it. They might decide to pull it out here.
Corki does have his package to split up the fight. They're going to start the Infernal Drake. They do have a pink ward, and so currently Pop can't see anything. All their vision is canceled. Actually, they do have a pink. Never mind. So they can't see. Pulling it out of the pit so that there's no threat of a steal. Zyra does a lot of damage to the Nami, who's going to go down to the Ornn ultimate.
I think you are once again a little bit behind, Will.
That would not be surprising. Really good to be really far behind.
The League of Legends client just does not like you, my man.
It really doesn't.
Looks like Skarner might be looking to use his Rift Herald here to get this mid lane tower. Never mind.
I don't know if they need to. I don't think they need to use it. I think they just siege it up. Especially since the Varus and the Nami were in base, I think they could have gone for that. But they decide not to. Twitch going to get this juicy wave in the top lane.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to decide to maybe switch their bot and top sides, or maybe send Corki down bot and have Ornn go mid. We don't know.
Corki does have that Triforce now.
Absolutely. It looks like Ornn maybe just looking to hold off the mid so they can't do anything about it, with Twitch and the Zyra going up top lane to maybe push it out, as they are a little bit more protected.
Yeah, Corki's very strong right now with that Triforce, as well as that Hex Drinker. He does a lot of damage with his autos, as well as his abilities. He's sitting on that blue buff, so he can fire them a lot. I froze.
We see the Nami tidal wave going out. We see Ornn getting caught out by the Twisted Advance. Never mind, not the Twisted Advance, but the Varus ultimate. Never mind, they decide not to do it. Disengage. That was a little bit of a messy team fight mid. They couldn't really do anything, as they were very well positioned on the side of SSG to get out of it.
Yeah, weird team fight, and my client decided to be weird there for a bit, so it completely froze on me.
Ain't that just the way? Looking to siege this mid lane turret. see the Ornn ultimate coming out to make sure they get that for free. Skarner does still have his Rift Herald, and it's gonna run out here before too long. He might need to put it down somewhere. You see Nami does decide to back there. It looks like they're all deciding to reset here on the side of SSG. Maybe perhaps rotate back and get something going down in a different lane. They have a tower mid, they have a tower bot, and they have a tower top.
Yeah.
Skarner
SSG taking this game a lot more systematically than their previous games. Just taking what they have and pressuring a single lane, maybe two, to try to create pressure. They don't need to go for any team fights. Although Zyra does get caught out, she does take a lot of damage from the Viger, but nobody was close enough to really capitalize on this side. Rift Herald was thrown bot. Kind of, we have nowhere else to put it, and it's about to run out. Type of Rift Herald, because that won't even crash into a tower. I don't think. I think it dies before it reaches that bot tower.
Definitely. It looks like they're just deciding to send Ornn up there with it to sort of get a split push going. Everyone else sort of positioning themselves around Baron. They could get a sneaky Baron off here with the Maokai and the Ornn up bot lane. If they don't decide to destroy this Rift Herald, and they do decide to go for Baron, they will not have Maokai for this fight. Because Maokai will have to destroy that Rift Herald before he can get up there.
Very good ward coverage from SSG.
Looks like Ornn maybe trying to do something around bot side. No, never mind. He's coming up. It might look like a team fight is about to take place in this mid lane so that they can rotate and effectively take Baron.
Corki does get caught out by a number of abilities, but he Valkyries out, and he should be fine in the Nami tidal wave just catching him on the outside.
Looks like they're deciding to maybe rotate up for Baron and take it here. They do have the Skarner spots. Looks like Ornn deciding to run interference in the bot lane, maybe get some pressure down there as they go for a sneaky Baron.
The Maokai teleport also got canceled, and so they know that the opposing top laner has no teleport, so if the fight happens, then Ornn can join the Maokai camp.
Very good Baron on the side of SSG. POP did not have the vision anywhere to sort of stop them from taking that, and Ornn was just able to run interference with the top lane pushing. They weren't able to answer that. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, and so that's Baron buff on SSG. They should be able to siege even better now. Just trying to, even though they've never really had control, Pop has done a really good job at knowing where they can defend and where they can't. They aren't taking fights by their towers when they can't defend. They also recognize power where they have the strength in numbers and when they don't. And so they're doing a really good job at recognizing their strengths and weaknesses, which is allowing them to not be completely rolled in this game. But unfortunately, SSG is fine playing the same game. They're fine playing this passive game and just siege you down until you die. Partially because they have that Twitch. You just can wait and wait and wait. Sorry about that, we're just watching the intriguing wet noodle fight happen in bot lane. Ultimate coming down from the Ornn. Twisted Advance is going to dodge that. Ornn taking tower shots. He doesn't care. Oh, that's a dive onto the bot lane. Maokai going to get Twitch ulted on, and he's going to go down. It's a lot of shred from Twitch, who's currently sitting on his Runeman's Hurricane as well as his the edge. Are you still there, Caleb?
My mic had been muted and I had been talking. I am a big dumb weeby head. At any rate, we see a really good passive game coming in from SSG as they've just been absolutely dominating objectives. Not a whole lot Pop can do to answer this. This is an ideal game for SSG. if Pop wants to come back, they're going to need to establish some sort of vision control, as SSG is just absolutely destroying them as far as vision goes.
That is 4 dragons for SSG.
This is absolutely nutty. If they get that Elder Drake, that's going to be
That's a
GG.
powerful Elder Drake.
Absolutely.
If they can grab that.
So yeah, we see a very, very slow but steady game from
Yeah.
SSG.
SSG showing why they have the better score line as far as games won to games lost. Showing that they're willing to play a much more passive, bleed you out type of game plan.
Really, they are. This is not unlike a war strategy. Starving your opponent of resources and while keeping your resources stocked up. That is what's really winning them this game.
They also understand that Pop wants to team fight. They have the Viger who has the AoE stun and the ability to blow up the back line.
Yeah, if we look at
they have the Varus who's very strong, the Shyvana that likes to get on the backside, and the Maokai with the team fight ultimate.
Yeah, we see from
so Pop
SSG,
wants to take that team fight.
SSG is really just winning this game through the fact of their rotations. I mean, their split pushing and rotations have just been amazing. I mean, that's where they're winning. This is an exemplary game of rotations. If you've ever wanted to learn macro play, this is the game to watch.
Yeah. All 6 of the turrets outside of the base have been taken now by SSG. They're currently sitting at 11,000 gold lead, and that is not something you want to be facing. Is a Twitch whose team is sitting on 11,000 gold lead. Absolutely. Twitch is already scary when you're the one ahead, and when he's the one ahead, he's a force to be reckoned with.
It's really been an interesting game. However, they are getting to the point where they need to siege in on the enemy team to win and get a team fight going.
Onto the Corki, but he killed after out. Warren ultimate coming in, trying to get onto the backline, or he's going to throw it onto the Maokai, who's going to get stunned up. But he's going to walk out because he's Maokai, and he doesn't care. Skarner going in, but he's going to back.
Yeah, this is a very slow game. We're going to need to see them take some sort of big objective here to get the siege that they need to destroy these inner turrets.
Lots of wave clear from the Viger. There's a lot of damage to clear those castaways. A lot of damage onto the Ornn from the Varus, taking advantage of that W, and that's going to be the twisted advantage from Maokai. He's going to catch up the Corki, and Zyra is going to be leaped up on by the Shyvana, who's going to burst her down. Skarner has some damage. Twitch is going to be throwing down his ultimate, doing a lot of pass-through damage. Nami's going to throw down her flash to try to get away before she gets chased down. Good fight from Pop.
Yeah, that was a really good fight on the side of Pop. They were able to catch backpack out when he was out of position perfectly with that Nami ultimate. So they were also able to get the Zyra kill there.
But unfortunately, that just stems the bleeding for a short period of time. They're still sitting down 10,000 gold. They won that fight at this point. They won that fight with blinking health bars, and they got one person dead and one other person close. 2 people dead. They killed the Zyra as well.
In a world where that Corki didn't get caught out, he would have won that team fight. But that was a good job on Pop's point, capitalizing on the fact that their Corki was caught out.
Yeah.
They are looking to take this blue buff.
A little bit rough. A little bit rough when you take a very favorable team fight, and best case scenario is you get 2 kills and don't lose anyone.
Absolutely. We see Baron in 18 seconds. SSG.
Oh, Maokai's going to get caught out here. Skarner going very fast, going to be ulting him back into the team. He's going to get blown up. There's way too much damage there. Viger does get the stun, and the Maokai ultimate will disengage the fight so nobody goes down on the Corki. But that is the top laner down for Pop, and they have no tank line without that Maokai. And so, fairly confident in their team fight now. They're going to SSG is going to be taking the Baron. Zyra just zoning off the rest of the team.
And
Pop
we
has
see
Warren. Split pushes the bot lane.
Yeah, that was a really good job on the side of SSG and Dirty Dan, having him just sit down there and aimlessly push that bot lane.
Chain of
creating a
Corruptions will go
lot of
down on Ornn. He'll be zoned into the stun field. And he's gonna be throwing his ult. He's gonna be trying to trade the kill onto the Vars, but he's gonna be going down.
Unfortunate,
Good
but
rotation to stop the split push, but you gave up Baron for that because, I mean, it's not like you could have contested the Baron, but you really don't want to be in a situation where you're getting one kill, giving up Baron, and that's your only option.
at this point, if Pop or SSG is able to get a good pick, they win this game. Over here behind me, I do have Jake. Beautiful man. Anyhow, on a side note, we see SSG looking to get this next dragon. That will be all 5 dragons going in their favor with a Baron buff. Absolutely dominating.
That'll be double oceans, and Corki with double oceans, he doesn't even need his blue buff, which he also has now. So that's double infernal, double ocean, and a single cloud. That's 5 drakes going for the side of SSG, as well as Corki has his blue buff and his package. Corki is really strong right now. He does get caught by the snare, and he's going to take a lot of damage. That's half his HP bar gone in just for him getting stunned for 2 seconds. And he's going to have to reset. He does have Baron buff, so the reset is pretty quick.
At this point, we're just waiting till about 37 minutes when that Elder Drake does spawn. At that point, it looks like SSG will just be able to win out the game if they don't win it out beforehand.
Yeah. It's just such a big gold lead, especially when the team with the gold lead is the team that outscales as well. I'm finding it hard. Finding it hard to see a world where Pop wins this. It would require a miracle catch by the Viger to delete probably the Twitch. I don't even think a kill on the Corki stops this.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it has to be a kill on the Twitch.
I do see you guys saying that my mic is a little bit quiet. I can go ahead and fix that real quick. But it looks like we might be seeing a team fight, so I'm not sure if I quite want to.
We do see a catch onto, who was that? Who got caught? That was Varus. He takes a lot of damage from the Zyra, who does have a Leandris Torment. That is the engagement Skarner. He gets blown up. That's the Viger going down. Nami uses his ult to disengage. It's a lot of damage onto the Maokai. He's going to be going down. Double AD carry comp shredding through him. That's the inhibitor going down for the side of SSG. And that, they can just end the game off of that. The Viger was the main win condition that Pop had. And that's one wave in the top wave crashing. And there's just not enough wave clear. Shyvana may try to go in on this backside, although Twitch is going fairly aggressive, not going to get caught by the attack, by the ultimate from the Shyvana. And I didn't even see what happened to Varus. He got blown up.
Absolutely.
Twitch is just stationing Shyvana out of her own base, and this looks like it's going to be game as SSG takes game 3 and the series.
Very, very good job on the side of SSG. Will, if you had to crown us a victor, who would it be? Go ahead.
If I had to crown us a victor, I crown SSG as the victor of that game, as well as
Will,
the series.
I'm tired of your smart aleck responses. Go ahead and give me... if you had to crown a MVP, sorry.
I would give it probably to Itchy Rat. In game 2, he was playing the Varus, and he had that ridiculous, I think it was 4-0-10 scoreline that carried them through that game. And he was the win condition in this game with 2-1-4. He didn't have the same scoreline that Backpack did. The Backpack finally had a good game where he performed well. I think I would give an honorable mention to Backpack with that 7-2-1 scoreline, even though he fed fairly hard in the first game with that Twisted Fate pick. But I would give that MVP to Itchy Rat.
Absolutely.
Playing that Itchy Rat.
Absolutely. I think Backpack was giving the old run around, making himself seem like he was bad by absolutely just inting that first game and then just coming back and completely dominating that later in the game. Anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and try and see if we can't get an interview with the team captains. Let me message Backpack and see what he has to say.
Yeah. Try to get Backpack and Itchy Rat.
Absolutely.
We got that MVP and we got that captain.
I don't know if Itchy Rat does want to friend me. I am a little weird.
Yeah,
A little creepy.
I mean, you can tell him get into the caster stream call, or get into one of the calls general.
Absolutely.
Get into general too.
Absolutely. I will be joining General 2, and we're going to see if we can't get Backpack and Itchy Rat in here for a interview here. And we see SSG.
Let me grab Kyle real quick.
No problem.
Oh, there's Backpack.
Hey, what's
Okay.
up?
There he is.
Hey, hey.
Congratulations, guy, on your win today within the
Thanks,
series.
Man.
Absolutely.
So, I just really want to quick say, Backpack. What was the strategy for all the games? Because you fed in the first game.
I did.
You
I
inted
did
in the
feed
first
in the
game.
first game.
You did okay. You did okay in the second game, and then you
I
went
went 8-3 and 11 on the second game. Come on, put some respect on my name, dude. Man. No,
hey,
but
Bapak, you talk too much, man.
Was that the
I
game
do.
plan?
No, it wasn't the game plan. Game 1, we were trying to do like our kind of standard comp that we were trying to do, but we just decided to just keep 1-3-1ing, and I got caught out on that third death, and then that was it for the first game.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
Yeah, his brain lagged a lot that game.
yeah, my brain lagged a little bit because like every single one of those TF ults was like, dude, I'm going in, and they're like, wait, we got Varus ulted, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm dead here.
Yeah,
So.
when we say we're going in, Kyle likes to go in one before we even get to the team fight. So
I mean, that's the
Yeah,
best
so-
strategy to have, really.
really,
Yeah,
we
it
should have
is.
1-3-1 a lot harder and
Hello.
sent TF bot lane during that Baron, but then he got caught out top, and we just the game was over.
Oh, we have a lot of people.
Yeah.
In here.
Yeah,
A lot of people-
the game was.
Hey, I'll drag you guys into Caster Streamers room if you want.
Yeah, do
That'd be
that.
perfect.
Do
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
we'll
wait, wait! I need to
let's
move.
go.
Okay.
that. Oh.
Uh,
Perfect. Thank you, XT.
Yeah. I mean,
Otto.
All right. Drag them in.
all right, and then I'll leave Kyle outside just for him.
Okay.
It's a me.
All right. there
All
we
right,
go.
he's a caster.
All right.
Yeah, I'm casting.
So, all right. Let's see. What is the idea behind the Varus pick? Because both teams put a very high priority into it.
Ooh.
Why is it so strong?
So right now when you're doing pig ban, you're trying to trade Trist and Varus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think Varus is a lot stronger because his ult is actually just so good, and his power spike is super early with just Rage Blade. It's just such a good pick. Triss, you have to wait till she scales up to do anything, and Varus, you just get a free, one item, and you just see so much damage. And Varus ult in every game is so free.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We saw that. We saw-
It is so much damage too.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just saw the backpack thing on the Twitch, and it was just, I don't know, it's funny.
Oh.
Pretty funny.
So we saw that Varus pick coming in that second game, and that was absolutely dominant. It's like you came in there and you were like, I'm gonna show you guys how to correctly play Varus. What was going through your head that second game with that nutty Varus play?
Well, they fucked up early game like so hard. They got a free kill on Karma. They had the wave pushing in their direction, and they have a blitzcrank. They could have zoned me out easily like 50 CS, and I would have been screwed that entire game. But they messed up the wave management, and I kept even in CS for the entire game, and then I just got super far ahead in team fights with the kills. Every time Warwick ulted, Skarner either ulted him or I had QSS super early. Varus just tears through tanks. So
I think the biggest thing was that during that game they couldn't get to our backline because with Ornn Skarner you have so much peel you can keep the Varus relatively safe. Like there was a fight where Kyle actually inted and just got hooked, but he was still able to get the package out, and we still had our main DPS with the Varus. So it's just really, really hard for them to get to our backline throughout the whole game, especially if they're engaged consisting of only like a Blitzcrank pool or really relying on the Veigar, not Veigar, the Heimerdinger grenades or the Warwick leap. which are all pretty generally hard to hit. And throughout the whole game, we're just like, if they get on us, we have the peel, we have the options. We just, gotta stay together. We always gotta talk because that's our playstyle, I guess.
And that Heimer pick was so troll. If you ever
Oh my
pick
God,
Heimer
I
again,
never
Joe,
took that.
you
I
deserve
could've
to
ganked
lose.
early. It was
You deserve
impossible.
to lose if you pick Heimer, honestly.
Here's the thing. Like, I figured they were trying to shut me down early, and they did. I mean, I was 0-3 that second game, and like that Heimer really solidified. Okay, I'm gonna try to smash this lane, but all the other lanes kind of got, equally as fed. So, and it just came down to a few team fights, and then it was fine after that. It was just in lane in that second game. It was straight cancer, dude.
It was
like,
it's that
my Lord.
Jensen Heimerdinger strat.
Oh,
It's
all right. Let's not
Yeah.
refer Jensen with Heimerdinger. Those are dark times. I'm kidding. Jensen,
All right,
I don't
guys.
like to talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Congratulations, guys, on the series win
Thank you.
Thanks.
over Pop. And
It's your
we're gonna
dog,
be
you did it.
jumping-
Did a great
Yeah.
job. Looks like I owe Backpack a skin here.
Damn
Hey, where's
right.
my
He
skin?
meant
What the
this
hell?
man, dude. This
Can I get
man
Guardians of
messaged me. This man messaged me 10 minutes into game 2. If you guys win this game, I'm giving you a skin. The only thing that was on my
Nice.
mind after that game, I'm getting a skin, son.
I just
Like-
want to win, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want that skin,
Absolutely.
dude.
Guardian
I feel it.
Descends. Guardian Scan Skarner is on sale.
He told us, and we were like, this guy's getting you a skin. There's no way he's losing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
no,
dude.
I feel it.
So it was all
All
thanks to your message, honestly.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Yeah,
I was
you put the fire under our ass, dude.
I was providing that moral support for you. I think
Hell
that
yeah.
will I think that'll wrap up the stream. Thank you so much for the interview, guys. Good job on the series win. I love you so much, Kyle. I want to marry you.
Hey.
And that'll be the end of the stream. Love
Love
you
you
guys.
too, Mr. Ocelot. Thanks, man. Thanks,
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Don't
See you
forget
later.
to tune in tomorrow. Rhythm Esports Champions League starts at 7 p.m. EST. XP
Absolutely.
peace now.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, XT. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching the stream. Thank you, huge thank you to Rosen for showing up and really supporting us. He's a very attractive guy. I just want to say thank you. But I think that'll end it out. Do you have any final words you'd like to say, Will?
If Caleb says anything about Yasuo after I'm done talking, ignore him.
I will not. All right, see you guys. Have a good one.